Hi guys, it's Cyndi Shoeman. So today I'm going to be taking the 16 personalities test. It's supposed to give you a freakishly accurate description of who you are and why you do the things the way that you do. I will link it down below if you just want to click through, but I'm just taking it at 16personalities.com. So let's take the test. And it says it takes less than 12 minutes to answer honestly even if you don't like the answer, and to try not to leave any neutral answers. So, you find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. Yes. You often get so lost in thought that you ignore or forget your surroundings. Yes. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. I would be lying if I said that I didn't have 10,000 emails I need to sort through. You find it easy to stay relaxed and focused even when there's some pressure. No. You do not usually initiate conversations. Agree. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. I'd say disagree. You feel superior to other people. No. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. Disagree. You're usually highly motivated and energetic. Okay, so I feel like people are going to argue with me and say that they find me to be these things, but honestly, I don't really feel that way ever, even if I may come across as that. Usually I feel tired and kind of down on myself, honestly, so I'm going to kind of stick to the neutral zone because I might come across as that, and so maybe I am, I just don't really feel like it, so I'm going to kind of put kind of disagree, even though you might view me as more, because I don't usually view myself that way. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. I guess it just kind of depends on the subject matter, so I'll say a little bit more than neutral, so like agree, but not super agree like every time. You often feel like you have to justify yourself to people. Yes. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. You do not mind being at the center of attention. Okay, I think there's a difference between posting a selfie or tweeting something. I think there's a difference between that and then somebody coming up to you and saying stuff like, oh, you're so beautiful, or your hair is gorgeous. I don't mind, likes and stuff, or occasional comment even. What really wigs me out is like in person, that kind of thing. I would rather not talk about it. I think that they're two totally separate things, so I'm just going to say disagree because I'm considering this like an in-person thing. You consider yourself more practical than creative. People can rarely upset you. No, they always upset me. The travel plans are usually well thought out. Other than I need to leave obnoxiously early, no. So I'll say mostly disagree. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. For the most part, I would say that it's not difficult for me, but I can understand there are times where it would be very difficult for me to relate to somebody, so I'm just going to kind of say it depends on the situation, so neutral, but usually it would not be difficult for me. Your mood can change very quickly. Yes. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. I'm going to keep it closer on the agree side, but still kind of neutral. It just would depend on the subject. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. Disagree. Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than to an organized approach. Yes. You're often envious of others. I don't really like the word envious. I feel like I compare myself a lot to others, and I critique myself a lot based on others. I guess if you're looking at it in that sense, I would say yes, but I think it's like saying like jealous, so I'll say kind of, it's not that I'm like jealous of people and their lifestyles, it's that I am more like, I wish I was more like them. What can I do to like myself more, to be not necessarily more like them in terms of like copycatting, but in terms of like what can I do to take the steps to where I feel confident like they do in their own bodies and with their own talents and that kind of thing. An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. Yes. Well, I guess it depends on the social event, so I'll put mostly agree. Usually I'm watching anime or playing games instead of hanging out. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. Usually I just mostly skip the developing plan thing. I usually just have an idea and I half-ass plan and then I go for it. But I do agree that sticking to it is very important, because otherwise it won't get done. I'll say neutral because I'm the worst planner, but I do agree that sticking to it is the only way that it's going to get done. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. Oh, disagree. You often find yourself lost in thought when you're walking in nature. Yes, just all the time, honestly. If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. I'll just say mostly, because as a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. Well, first of all, I don't ever plan on having children, but if I were to have a child, I'm going to say mostly agree. I would prefer to raise my child with compassion, and I feel in turn they would have a kind of smarts that maybe it wouldn't always make the best decisions, but they would try to make the kinder decision. Do not let other people influence your actions. So I'm going to say neutral, because people's words and stuff do affect me, but like in terms of like my appearance and stuff, I don't really let people tell me how I should be and all. Your dreams tend to focus on the real world incidents. New. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. I'm going to say disagree. I am horrible at initiating hangouts and stuff with just people in general, so I'm just going to say disagree. I'll show up to work, but can't promise I'll show up to the work party. It's not really my thing. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. Yes. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Yes. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress-up or role-playing activities. Yes. I want to spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. I feel like yes. You'd rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. Yes. You're a relatively reserved and quiet person. I feel like I am until you get to know me, so I'll say agree. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. Yes, I could never be a boss. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. Yep, logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. I guess it depends again. I feel like for the most part I make a lot of decisions based on heart, but I feel like there's a lot of situations where I try to make them logically too. So I'll try to keep it kind of neutral, but more on the disagree side, because I feel like I do usually follow my heart more than my cabeza. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. I guess so. If your friend is sad about something, you're more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem. I feel like sometimes I offer ways to deal with the problem, but I feel like for the most part I'm here if you need me. I'm not going to push you. I'm not going to try to tell you what to do, because it's your life. You are a totally different person than me and make decisions and act on feelings differently than me. I feel like I can tell you how I feel and different ways you can go about it, but I feel like I'm more helpful when I tell people that I'm here for them, just an outlet for them to vent to, or an outlet to distract themselves with, like, hey, let's go on a drive or something. So I'll just say mostly agree. Rarely feel insecure. Disagree. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. I have lots of difficulties sticking to things. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. I'm going to say mostly disagree, because obviously to an extent you need to be doing the right things at a workplace, but I cannot stand fighting and stuff, so I would rather everybody is a cohesive group that's doing the work together than arguing about what we should and shouldn't do. Obviously there will be times that somebody is super duper wrong, which is why I'm not going to totally disagree, but I would rather cooperate with everybody. Do you think that everyone's views should be respected, regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not? I'm going to keep it neutral again, but agree more so than disagree, because I do care about people's feelings and their opinions, depending upon the subject. I feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. I don't want my friends to take this the wrong way, but for the most part, I disagree. I do love hanging out with my friends, but I definitely feel exhausted after I hang out with people, and I don't want to hang out with people for a very long time. I know that sounds bad, but it's literally not them, it's me. You frequently misplace your things. Yes. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. I would be lying if I said yes. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Yes. You would not call yourself a dreamer. I'm going to disagree. Usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. Yes. Generally speaking, you rely more on experience than your imagination. Again, it depends on the situation. I'm gonna keep it neutral, but more on the disagree side because, again, it just depends. You worry too much about what other people think. Yes. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. Yes. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there's not enough time to do everything. Yes. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Yes. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. Yes. You've always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things in books, art, or movies. Yes. You often take initiative in social situations. I like mostly disagree. I feel like I offer things to do, but I'm not going to be like, hey, let's definitely do this. Let's go do this, go do this. It's like, well, we could do this, but whatever you want. So mostly disagree. So my personality type is mediator or INFP-T, and then you can expand it and it has your results on the side. So it says my role is to be a diplomat. It determines my goals, interests, and preferred activities. And it says my strategy is constant improvement. It determines how you approach everyday situations and achieve your goals. That's actually what I strive for, is to always improve and be a better version of myself. So I think that's a good strategy. It's very spot on. So it says mediator personalities are true idealists, always looking for the hint of good in even the worst of people and events, searching for ways to make things better. While they may be perceived as calm, reserved, or even shy, mediators have an inner flame and passion that can truly shine, comprising just 4% of the population. The risk of feeling misunderstood is unfortunately high for the mediator personality type, but when they find like-minded people to spend their time with, the harmony they feel will be a fountain of joy and inspiration. When deciding how to move forward, they will look to honor, beauty, morality, and virtue. Mediators are led by the purity of their intent, not rewards and punishments. People who share the mediator personality type are proud of this quality, and rightly so, but not everyone understands the drive behind these feelings, and it can lead to isolation. Yeah. So on the side, I won't go into this because I'm sure you would much rather know more about your own type than mine, but you have an Explore Your Type little sidebar. It's really cool because they also have a section of celebrities you may know that also have the same personality type as you do. Alright guys, so that was my personality test. Make sure to take it and tell me what your personality type is in the comment section below. I think this is a really cool way how to understand how you tinker a little bit better, but also kind of lets you know how you should improve upon your weaknesses and then how you should build upon your strengths. So yeah, definitely check that out. Again, I'll link it in the description below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll also be linking all my social media below. You have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later.